Hello, Pisces. This is Carrie at Wooing Nature. Welcome to March. And yes, you all are leading the way and leading the pack. So I was listening to my Pisces energy field, and we back on relationships again for March. That's okay, Pisces. Lead the way. I don't know. If y'all say it's about relationships, y'all say it's about relationships. So we're going to let it be about relationships. So I'm going to the map. That's not Carolyn Mace. That is Colette Baron Reed's Enchanted Map. I always like to go to the map for relationships. And her cards are an inspiration for some sessions that you might be interested in called the Relationship Map. This is where I use Colette Baron Reed to kind of guide you and direct you in your relationship. You can do this as a solo person. So just because we're talking about relationships and just because you want to heal relationships, healing starts with yourself. It starts with you. So if you want to start on a solo track, you can if you're not in a relationship right now. But if you're in a relationship and it needs some healing, it needs some direction, or you're trying to get on the right track, then reach out to me at wooingnature.life. And if you go to the services page, you'll see the relationship map there. And if you have any questions about it, just holler and let me know. I'm at Carrie, Kerri, at wooingnature.life. All right, March is relationship time again for all of us. Thanks to Pisces. Leave it to Pisces. I want to talk about a relationship. That's fine. That's okay. We'll do it. So what I'm going to do is pull some cards for Pisces that are related to your relationships, where your direction is going, where you are right now, where you're headed. So we're going to pull 3 from the Enchanted Map. Thank you. And one more. One more. All right. Sounds good to me. All right. So the first card up is Ghostlands. Ghostlands represents your recent past. This could be some history that needed to be swept out the way. It needs to go into the past. When we're talking about Ghostlands, these are things from the past. These are ghosts from the past. These could be, I don't know, the Grinch that stole relationships. I don't know. So you've got to think back through your patterns. You have to think back through the relationships that you've been in the past, the partnerships that you have been drawn to automatically. You want to also think about how you process that. If there was either a negative outcome or a positive outcome, what was the reason for it? Analyzing and looking at things from the past will allow you to really wrap your mind around what happened, and let that be away from an emotion-filled space. Because a lot of times when we've gone through relationships and they didn't go well, we tend to focus on the emotional pain. We think about the emotional pain of it all. And when you are solely focused on the emotional pain, then you aren't able to see the full spectrum of what happens, so that you can either, 1, not find yourself in the same situation again, or 2, not blame people for things that they didn't need to get blamed for, and that includes yourself. It allows you also to be able to approach a relationship without judgment in the future. So dealing with the ghosts, dealing with the past, really, really hashing that out, even though we don't really a lot of times want to do that, is a healing. That is a healing process. All right, so here in the center, which I'm going to say represents your present state of mind or your present moment when you're talking about relationships, it's talking about following the leader. This is really interesting because in relationships, we always want to think about 50-50, but we don't want to think about leading and who is leading and why are they leading. Do you feel comfortable with your partner leading you? Or do you feel, or how do they feel as well? So that's vice versa. So it's a good question to ask. How do you feel when I'm leading? You know, what happens there? And trying to be honest about it, because honesty is going to clarify the nature of your relationship with another person. And again, this is wherever it sits for Pisces right now, because I know that sometimes people are dealing with intimate relationships, relationships with people they're making love to, okay? And then there are people who are dealing with different kinds of relationships, so different types of partnerships, and then sometimes it's work. Either way it goes, you have to examine how you feel about being led in a relationship, or how you feel about leading in a relationship, and then really seeing it, because sometimes you're taking the lead and you don't know you're taking the lead, or sometimes the other person has the perception that you're out front and you may not have that perception. So the conversation has to happen around it, and communication is always an important tool. All right, so looking ahead, we've got this one ring circus. I think this is an interesting card, because sometimes when we get ourselves out there on our own platform or our own pedestal, or we are, you know, kind of following our own lead, then we can find ourselves out in the middle of nowhere alone, okay? Now, if that's what you want, if that's comfortable for you, when you see this card, if it brings you comfort, then go for it. I'm not going to be the person to tell you not to go it alone. But at the same time, we are talking about relationships. And so you don't want to find yourself, you know, out on a limb by yourself and not and feeling alone or feeling lonely. That's not the goal here. And again, it doesn't matter how you choose to relate. The main thing is that relating is happening, and that there isn't something blocking it, say from the past, or you're not blocking it because of some kind of ego issue. And certainly doing this work is going to help you understand yourself better, but it's also going to help you understand your position when you are in an alone space. Okay, I hope that makes sense. All right, I'm going to the Sun and Moon Tarot. One of my go-tos for relationships. I love these little cards because they're so light. And I like to keep it light if we're talking about relationships. But relationships can be heavy. We know this. Relationships can get real heavy on us. And you have to keep the lightness. You have to keep the youth. You have to keep the, you know, you got to keep your energy up when you're dealing with relationships. If a relationship is bringing you down, you got to, you know, you got to talk through that, work through that, or you got to find your outlet. All right, so let's see what's happening here. So I've got a Tower in reverse here, which means that there's some internal, this is like thought processes, I think, for you, Pisces. This is some thought processes that are like it's like a self-undoing. So this could be about some self-sabotage in your relationships, or within the relationship. There is some sabotaging going on. But this is about you, okay? This is about why you feel like you don't deserve, or something like that. We've got the universe here, which tells me that, you know, this is like night and day here. It's almost like you have the opportunity to engage this relationship. You have the opportunity to heal the relationship. You have the opportunity to overcome some like childish ways that you don't need anymore, because you're maturing and you're coming into your full self. And now that you're coming into your full self, you can do away with childish things. So there's all of these opportunities here. It's opportunities for you to heal and to get a handle on whatever relationship issues you may have had in the past. So if some of this undoing may even be necessary right now, well, it usually is, because when towers come in, it's because it's necessary, right? it may be necessary for you to, you know, spiral out for the time being, you know what I'm saying? But not forever, not forever. It can't be like a consistent, never ending, never ending, never ending. All right, Six of Swords is about you putting your focus on something else. You putting your focus on an endeavor, a work, or something that you are interested in, something that you want to create. It's about focusing your attention on that, okay? And that's where you're going to really shine. That's where you're going to be able to, you're going to find a different form of self-expression. There's another way for you to express yourself, Pisces. This is interesting. It's really taking you in a different direction, you know. It's not even about, you know, it's almost like you're developing a relationship with your work or something to that effect. Oh, okay, I understand now. So we have the Moon card here, which then in turn gets you in touch with your emotions. That's where it's going. So this is something creative or artistic in nature, Pisces. And what they're saying is that they want you to focus your attention and whatever it is that is has been a struggle for you in relationships, where something has been very painful in particular, they want you to focus it into something creative where you can really, really share your truth about it, and where you can really express yourself clearly. Because it may not be about trying to convince a person. It may be about expressing how you feel in a very open way. Yeah, okay, so this is the Emperor here. So to me, it's about taking command of your situation. It's about being in command, having an order for yourself, having a sense that you are in a good place, you're protected, you're okay, you're comfortable with yourself. They want you to express this artistically. That's it. That's it. That's it, Pisces. That's it. And there's nothing else that's come forth. So, deal with the past. Understand yourself. Who's leading? Who's following? Who has been leading? Who has been following? That's here and here. Okay? This is what you got to deal with right now. Okay? The time coming up for you, it is going to be some alone time, but it's alone time because you have to really get through this process right here. You have to also see how you're overcoming here. You have to express yourself artistically. Don't make this be a big deal. It can be something small. It can be a lyric to a song. It could be a journal. It could be a painting or a drawing or a dance or anything like that. But something creative that will allow you to speak freely of your feelings through this medium. And that's what's going to help bring order back to your situation. Okay? All right. If you would like to take a deeper dive, you know where to find me. I'm at Kerri, Kerri, at wooingnature.life. Don't forget about the relationship map. It's a 2-week, 4-week, or an 8-week session that you'll travel through. Yes, yes, I like that. Yeah. So at any rate, you can reach out to me. Let me know what you need. In the meantime, I hope you have a great March. I hope you're having a fabulous life.